Did a massive thermonuclear explosion wipe out an ancient civilization on Mars millions of years ago? That's exactly what Harvard professor John Brandenburg proposes in his study, Evidence of a Massive Thermonuclear Explosion on Mars in the Past, the Cydonia Hypothesis and Fermi's Paradox. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Dr. John Brandenburg is a professor of Harvard University. Dr. John Brandenburg points out the excess in abundance of the elements krypton-80 and xenon-129. Now, these elements are heavily produced by a thermonuclear explosion. There would be a hard way to come up with why that's there if you didn't consider that there was a thermonuclear explosion. Also, studies of Martian meteorites have shown that the abundance of these elements showed up very suddenly in Mars' ancient past, meaning that prior to this, in the meteorite, the elements showed no trace of these elements, the meteorite rather. And then at some point in Mars's ancient history, these elements showed up in abundance. Also, Dr. Brandenburg points to glass resembling trinitite in two sites on opposing sides of Mars. Now, trinitite is a material produced from an atomic blast, and it's named after the first site of the test of the atomic blast, the Trinity, in Trinity, New Mexico. Now, this trinitite shows up heavily in a place called Cydonia. Now, what I need to mention about Cydonia is that is the location of the Martian face. Now, the Martian face has been heavily debunked. It's been debunked by JPL and a seething community of debunkers have all come out this and basically considered it baloney, phony, baloney, a waste of time. In fact, I went on Google Mars to check out this site of the Martian face, and if you go there and look, you'll see a lower resolution image that's clearly doesn't have all the coloration of the surrounding area, and it doesn't look like a face from the top, but if you slant it and look at it, the topography does look like a face a little bit. Now, a really interesting story that I'm just excited about is employees of my former employer, Goddard Space Flight Center, intercepted these images and created a 3D model to in fact show that the Martian face is a face. Now, these daring engineers, Vincent Di Pietro and Griori Molinar, hopefully I'm saying that right, created their own independent Mars investigation team to study this data called the Independent Mars Investigation Team. And what they found was a pyramid at the Cydonia site and two other faces. Now, Dr. John Brandenburg takes all these facts into consideration and presents us with what he says is evidence for the Cydonia hypothesis, which says exactly what I said, that there is an ancient civilization on Mars. Now, Dr. Brandenburg says by the assumption of the principle of mediocrity, which says that intelligent life is not special, it forms everywhere in the universe, wherever there is an abundance of resources for a life to live on, this as a possible answer for the Fermi paradox. Now, what is the Fermi paradox? Fermi paradox is a paradox proposed by a physicist named Fermi, who said, well, we as humans have been broadcasting our location throughout the universe since we created radio. Why aren't we seeing other civilizations throughout this universe 2? Where are they at? And there's been a few proposed solutions for this, one being that the planets are just simply too far away and therefore impossible for civilizations to reach each other. Another one is that civilizations eventually all destroy themselves in some sort of nuclear blast situation, or even another civilization, like maybe in Mars' case, comes and destroys your civilization. So his answer to the Fermi paradox, I feel like, is a warning. It's that we should consider that the universe is not a safe place. It's a dangerous place, and we need to protect ourselves. And I think that makes sense, but we just don't want to be put into a situation where we are all of a sudden giving the Pentagon more money to protect ourselves. So I thought all this research paper was very fascinating. I just was entranced by it since I started reading it. I think it's really interesting that Harvard is saying this and even discrediting JPL in their research paper. First thing, fuck JPL, and next, Harvard has been releasing studies like this fairly recently, one of them being one that mentioned the cryptozoology hypothesis, is that basically says that we are zoo animals and the aliens are our keepers in our little zoo, and it also mentions that aliens might be walking among us in disguise. Another one was showing how they had detected satellites during ancient times before humans could actually launch satellites. And these were metallic, what appeared technological objects. I haven't gotten into depth with that one, so I couldn't tell you how they detected that. But I think it's interesting. I think I'm going to keep an eye out for research papers like this. So if you'd like to hear more about this kind of stuff, stay in the know with UFO in the Know. I'm Luke Dercher. That's all I have to share tonight. Thank you, and have a blessed night, day, whenever you're watching this. Good night.